Sit down, shut your mouths,
and watch The Gift of Gabe. Yo, party peeps, what is up? It's your boy, the best Gabber in the biz. What a freaking revolution that we just had. Don't let the main event take anything away. This was a contender already for pay-per-view of the year. I mean, the in-ring action, the wild spots, the stories, the moments, everything about this was so peak outside of the main event. But don't let that dissuade you again. I mean, a Hollywood ending. Swerve looks to ascend to his throne once again. Ospreay and Fletcher absolutely blow our minds again. I mean, guys, forget about talking about it. Let's just gab about it. I mean, let's talk about that Hollywood ending. It was absolutely perfect. They promised it, and they delivered. I mean, they were gushing blood throughout this match. I mean, we had glass, we had champagne, we had freaking tasers. Everything about this was great, and this wrapped up not just the best women's story in AEW for the past year, the best women's story of the entire year across any freaking company, maybe even of the last 5 years. Like, these two from over this past year were absolutely incredible. All three of their matches hit, and the story behind it was phenomenal. RJ City, round of applause. Give him even more stuff, because this was grand slam after grand slam after grand slam hits with all of Mariah and Toni Storm's stuff. Like, it was amazing. I'm honestly feel like Mariah maybe should go on a little bit of a break just so we can like figure out what was next for her. But Toni, she's a women's champion. Anyone who wants to step up to the god, anyone that wants to step up and have a moment in the sun, in the spotlight with our marvelous Toni Storm, be prepared, because you will fall, you will get your tits slapped, you will have your shoe thrown at you, you will receive your moment in the sun, but it will be being pinned, being held by the greatest to ever do it. And her name is timeless Toni Storm. Cinema. Guys, tonight, really only one title actually changed hands, and that was the International Championship. Still, our International Champion no more. We have a new one. His name is Kenny by God Omega. This match was absolutely great. I feel like they ended up topping their first match back at All Out almost 2 years ago. Like, because Kenny this time was fully healthy. This match was everything it could have possibly been. Kenny Omega is always so great with them kick out at ones, like fighting spirit spots. It's just like every time you're just like, come on, yeah, oh, feel the power, brother. And bro ended up using his brain, and he ended up finally defeating Konosuke Takeshita, getting one over on him and over Don Callis. He now is the international champion, so what could this possibly mean? Reports saying that they are going to merge the international and continental championships, I think, to form a new World Heavyweight Championship, a second world title, which I'm going to guess we call the AEW Global Heavyweight Championship, which I'm sure will look badass as hell. All you ended up really doing right now is making the huge match at All In between Okada and Omega, which was already going to be generational, already be a box office sell, text draw, whatever. You just made it even bigger by now making a title unification match in a few months and making it a crowning of a new world champion. And being honest, if they want to go this route, Kenny could win, become the first ever like new AEW Global Heavyweight Champion, and in like 4 months by the end of the year at World's End, Takeshita Omega Part 3 tiebreaker, bam, Takeshita can win the title right then and there. It works out either way. But just, god dang it, all the matches were great tonight. I mean, we hurt people. Mercedes is still the greatest TBS champion of all time. You know, Montretain, all these great title defenses and matches. But at the end of the day, in the one title match where we did have a change, it was so freaking awesome. I mean, just Omega Takeshita. I almost have no words.
I mean, for God's sakes, I came!
Guys, Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher inside of a steel cage. We knew it was going to be special. We knew it was going to take our breaths away. We knew it was going to be generational. We knew it was going to provide us, not just with wrestling, but with moments we would remember forever. And they did just that. I mean, them standing across on the opposing sides of the steel cage, literally on top, just staring daggers at each other. What a freaking moment. Again, another match just gushing blood all over the place. Freaking os cutters from almost the top of the steel cage, barbed wire baseball bats, all the imaginable crazy spots that you can imagine, and a damn Spanish fly off of the top of the cage. This match was perfect. It was phenomenal. If you love pro wrestling, truly love pro wrestling, go watch that match. It's going to be on Max. You can watch it over and over and over again. In the end, Will Ospreay wins. Another story that, like, with just 4 matches respectively taking place over this past year, every single one was perfect. The story, especially once it became like the rivalry, absolutely perfect. Kyle Fletcher is a made man. He's going to be world champion within this next year, which is why I feel like a second world title will be more beneficial for this men's roster. And I'll get more into that on a Gabber Jabber video I plan to do this week. But just, by God, Will Ospreay, absolutely incredible. Sucks for Don Callis. Both of his dudes ended up 0-2, and one's going to be spending a lot of time spending ice on the whole parts of his body. I mean, Ospreay probably will too. He landed wild on that hip. But dude, that match was just incredible. And like the beginning of his intro said before he came out and delivered an instant classic, Will Ospreay is just on another level, bruv. Now guys, tonight, AEW Revolution was pretty much perfect. All of the matches were incredible, or even like the short match of her Syndicate retaining was short and sweet, exactly what we expected. Perfect pay-per-view. Hangman is on his way to the redemption arc, and possibly even winning that AEW World Championship again. All of it great. Main event was lacking, and low. I do understand that. I was not expecting the Christian cash in, but I honestly do get it. But for the people who are right there, like, oh, that was stupid. Why'd you even freaking bother giving him the briefcase in the first place? Y'all wanted a pivot so desperately bad. Guess what? You're getting it. The original plan probably was for Darby to already have been champion by now, or about to be champion. Christian probably would have cashed in on him. But that's done. They are pivoting. Swerve, undisputedly, after that incredible match with Ricochet, is the #1 contender, got the robe back, and is now set to face Moxley for the world title in just 4 weeks from right now at Dynasty. I'm going to be there live. And it seems like history is repeating itself. It's because it is. Last year, Swerve won the world title, and in that reign, he got himself even more over to where by the time he lost it, he was more over than he was when he won it, and he's more over right now than even when he freaking lost it last year. There was no doubt in my mind he's winning the world championship in just 4 weeks. It's kind of like it's a good version of a hard reset, and honestly, it just makes sense. Like, Swerve is legit undeniable in being the guy that should take the belt off Mox. He already lost to Mox before last year, a year and a half ago in the C2. So Swerve will literally bring that up and be like, I want to beat you because this needs to end. That's my championship, and I still got a L I got to get back on you. So Swerve is 1,000% winning. Another reason why I think he's winning is because I think we're now setting up, because Hangman beat MJF, I think he's now going to take that next step towards, healing, however it gets done, whether it's winning a Casino Gauntlet, winning the Owen Hart Cup tournament, whatever. I think we are getting the main event we should have got last year. Not that Danielson versus Swerve wasn't absolutely peak in a wrestling match or for an incredible babyface winning moment for Danielson, but I think we're going to get the main event we all thought we were going to get last year, this year, with Hangman versus Swerve for the AEW World Championship. Swerve, the stakes bigger than they've ever been. And for the first time, Hangman completes his babyface journey back to being a babyface. And this time, babyface Hangman does what he couldn't do as babyface before. And that's beat Swerve Strickland straight up in the middle of the ring and become, finally, once again, the AEW World Champion. So, guys, in just 4 weeks of Dynasty, history will repeat itself. And we will be standing at the end of it, just here, right now, with one man holding that world championship high above his head as we begin another peak era of AEW and go into a next chapter of a rivalry that is also peak AEW. We're asking one simple question. Whose house? Swerve's house. Okay, you guys, that is Revolution. We are done. Put in the rearview mirror. We are done. Dynasty is only 4 weeks away. Literally, it's only just 4 dynamites and collisions away. It'll be here before you know it. It'll be like showtime, and I'm sitting there in my seat ready for peak wrestling action. But before we get to that, we got more episodes of Raw and SmackDown to get through, including March 17th Raw, the big one. Cena's first appearance since turning heel. Oh, it's going to be awesome. Oh, it's going to be generational. And oh, we just can't wait. But before we get to that, we got CM Punk versus Seth Rollins inside of a steel cage. Good luck trying to top the one that just happened tonight. That'll be the main event of Raw. And I'm sure a certain one guy is going to show up to, wreck everyone and leave. Yeah, doesn't sound right. There's no way it could go on a shirt. But either way, guys, I hope you enjoyed Revolution tonight. Again, outside the main event, it was absolutely peak. So, cannot wait for Dynasty in 4 weeks, but can't wait for that certain one to come back tomorrow and wreck ass on CM Punk and Seth Rollins. So, until then, deuces, buces, and I will see you guys after Raw tomorrow night. So, go on, get out of here, get some sleep. I am done.
Until then, chin up, tits out, line.
Watch The Gift of Gabe.
Darling, that is my part, and now you've ruined the moment.